What is black and white and red all over? Stay tuned for the answer. This is English Riddles, Episode 1 from Eastland English. Welcome, I'm Robert. Today I'm going to teach you some riddles. How can we solve them? The first thing to remember is that riddles force us to think outside of the box. Outside of the box is an idiom. It means differently. Idioms are often metaphors. In this case, the box means our standard way of thinking about things. Outside of the box means different from normal. So the saying, think outside the box, means to think about things differently from the way we normally think about them. Now let's look at some riddles and see how they force us to think differently. Riddle number 1. I am at my tallest when I am young, and I grow shorter as I grow old. What am I? The first key to solving riddles is that the word I does not always mean a person. Think of I as a thing. Next, let's look at the two time metaphors. The two time metaphors, young and grow old, lead us to believe that this is a person. However, I does not always mean a person. Therefore, we're going to think of young and grow old as new and old as a thing. Let's now look at two more words, tallest and shorter. What object is taller when it is new and shorter as you use it? Tick, tick, tick. That's right. The answer to this riddle is a candle. Riddle number 2. There once was a man who loved the rain. Every time he went outside in the rain without an umbrella, hat, or hood, he never got any hair on his head wet. How is this possible? Firstly, we don't have to worry that this is not a human. This is a human. Let's look at the facts. There is a man, he goes out in the rain. He does not use an umbrella. He does not have a hat. Nor does he have a hood. So what does he have? Some kind of magic rain blocker? No, he has no magic rain blocker. The key to this riddle does not lie in the conditions. Instead, the key lies in the result. He never got any hair on his head wet. The fourth picture should give you a clue. If you haven't gotten it yet, let's look at a few more pictures of men who never get their hair wet when they go out in the rain. The answer to this riddle is that the man is bald. Riddle number 3. If you receive it, you'll want to share it. If you share it with anyone, you haven't really kept it. What is it? Normally in sentences like these, you would think of the word it as a pronoun meaning some kind of object. Especially if you receive it and give it. Try to think of it as a pronoun for a non-material thing. Something that cannot be held or touched or smelt or tasted. What could that possibly be? I'll give you a few hints. Shh! It's a secret. Riddle number 4. You are running in a race and you finally pass the person in second place. Now, what place are you in? If you're like me, you probably guessed, well, first place, certainly. But no, the answer is second place. How can that be? Let's look at this question a little more logically. Here is a race with people in first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth place. Here is the person in second place. In order to pass the person in second place, you must be in third place. This man here will always be in first place. As you, in third place, pass the person in second place, you are still behind the person in first place. You are in second place. Riddle number 5. It comes at the beginning of everything and the end of everywhere. It is the beginning of both earth and eternity, and the end of both time and space. What is it? Once again, in order to solve this riddle, we have to think differently. Considering the examples, our mind tries to think of abstract nouns. Let's highlight the word it. To solve this riddle, we have to come back down to earth. That's an idiom that means think more logically. When I first showed you these pictures, I said that it comes at the end of everywhere. Look at the picture. What comes at the end of everywhere? I'll give you another clue. It also comes at the end of here and at the end of there. What could it be? Have you guessed it yet? It is the letter E. See, there's an E at the beginning of everything, an E at the end of everywhere. It is at the beginning of the earth and eternity, and of course, the end of both time and space. Riddle number 6. I get bigger only when you take away more of me. What am I? Let's go back to riddle 1, where we have to think metaphorically in terms of I and me. I and me do not mean a person. What could possibly grow bigger as you take more away? Think about it for a moment, and I will give you some clues. Have you got it yet? That's right. The answer is a hole. Riddle number 7. What can go all the way through countries, cities, towns, mountains, forests, and fields, but never, ever moves? For this riddle, we're not looking for a person, and we're not looking for an abstract noun. We need a concrete noun. The word concrete may help you to solve this riddle. The next step is to look at the verb go. What is something that is a concrete noun and that never ever moves, but can use the word go before it? Think about it for a moment, and I will give you a few more clues. The answer is a road. Riddle number 8. The more of these you take, the more of them you leave. What are they? Once again, we must think outside of the box. What thing or noun could you possibly take and leave as well? Let me give you a clue. What is this person taking? And this picture? What is the person leaving? And another? He's running, but he's leaving something behind. And she is also leaving something behind, even though she's walking. All of these people are taking something and leaving them behind. They are footsteps. Riddle number 9. If you drop me, I may crack, but show me a smile, and I will always smile back. What am I? Let's look at a picture for a clue. What is she smiling at? Or better yet, who is she smiling at? She's smiling at herself. The little monkey is holding one, and this person dropped one, and it cracked. The answer is a mirror. Riddle number 10 is also known as the riddle of the Sphinx. It is taken from Greek legend, even though the Sphinx is in Egypt. Here's the riddle. What walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the day, and 3 legs in the evening? This is perhaps the most famous riddle in history. According to legend, it was told by the Sphinx who guarded the city of Thebes. If anyone failed to answer it, the Sphinx would eat them. However, if anyone got it right, they were allowed to enter Thebes. Once again, according to the legend, the Sphinx was very successful and got to eat every time because nobody could answer this riddle. It's no wonder it's a difficult riddle. However, in the end, somebody did answer the riddle correctly, They were then able to enter the city of Thebes and then became king. Let's look at this riddle step by step, because first of all, I imagine that what you thought is that something that walks on 4 legs is probably an animal, and something that walks on 2 legs is probably a human. But what about 3? The key to solving this riddle is metaphor. Do you remember the candle riddle? Here we're going to look at the words morning, day, and evening. To solve this riddle, we need to think of these 3 times metaphorically. Morning means early in life. Day means in the middle of life. And evening means at the end of life. Next, we'll look at legs. In this riddle, legs are not necessarily what we call legs. They are simply supporting points. What walks on 4 supporting points early in its life? A baby. And what walks on 2 supporting points in the middle of their life? And finally, the 3 legs, it's a cane. The elderly often use canes to help themselves walk. So the answer is a human being. The last riddle of the video is in fact the first one that I told. What is black and white and red all over? It's the first riddle that I heard as a child, and I couldn't figure it out. When I was told the answer had to be explained to me. After it was explained to me, I did understand it, but I certainly didn't like it. I was not a fan of riddles when I was young. However, as I've grown a little older, I have come to appreciate them a lot more, simply because they help you to think outside the box, to think differently, to think creatively. And that is an important process when you're trying to solve problems. Let's look at the riddle again. What's black and white and red all over? This joke depends on it being told and not read. As you hear black and white, you think red must be a color. But it's not a color. It is the past participle for the word read. It's used in the passive voice construction. So what do people read all over that is black and white? The answer is a newspaper. When I was young, newspapers were all black and white. They didn't have color yet. And of course, as we advance into the future, we're becoming more and more a paperless society. As we move to a paperless society, we also have to change our English, or to change our jokes and riddles a little bit. So it's possible you could still tell this riddle in the future, but change the answer to an email, or perhaps a text message. The riddle will still work. Please like and comment under our videos. If you have a good idea for a video, we might do it for you. This video was made because somebody asked for it, and we liked the idea too. Also, please subscribe to our channel, Eastland English. After you hit the subscribe button, make sure to click on notifications. That way, you will be notified every time we make a new video. Thank you so much. See you next time. Keep learning English.